Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday,
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday, Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of
Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red,
Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday, 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 Friday.
Fire Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Friday, Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, red, white and black. Friday, I'm back.
Thank God it is Friday.
Since I started to do videos, right?
Yes.
Hey, oh gosh, look, you're hearing me. Since I started to do
Videos.
videos.
Yes.
But wait, where my video? Where my picture?
Your picture.
Where my camera?
Your picture is coming.
Ah, since I started to do videos,
Yes.
you know my hair looking like wet for and thing too, eh? Wait, you didn't even talk about my picture. You see, that's why. You didn't tell the audience what I'm wearing, Corky.
Oh, you're wearing Rowley Must Go
Yes.
t-shirts.
Wait, you could see it? They could see it?
Wow.
I had to stand up a little bit.
But look where you put that Rowley Must Go sign. I must look.
But I'm now noticing like they can't see it.
Yeah, they're
And
seeing
the
it.
camera, you seen it?
Yes, yes, yes. You
They
need
see
just to
it.
turn slightly
I need to.
and do this. Pull on.
All right, I need to move my sweater. We'll always have
Oh,
it here.
there we go.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So I have two things. And I don't like to be, I don't want to be no Rowley. No Rowley like to come and buff every Saturday, right, Corky? Guys, I'm coming to buff you all. Well, hopefully the buff is a little bit different. Let me explain why. I think I'm a harsh mommy. A strict mommy, not a harsh mommy. I don't like the word harsh. But I think I'm a strict mom. I have very, very strict rules for Jess. Jess does get lectured, I swear, every day. But one thing, well, I mean, we should have Jessie come on to talk, right? I mean, but just based on what she says and what I hear and stuff and whatever, I think she appreciates. Like today, she had a basketball tryouts, national squad tryouts, and thing. And you know, doting over her and this and that, and she said, "Oh my gosh!" And then she said, "You know what?" And I said, "Just let me be a mommy now." And she said, "Well, okay, you know, and she loves me and stuff and whatever. So you see, I think that's where the balance comes in, because I'm very strict, but at the same time, I love hard now. Okay. So, for instance, I mean, my husband is in construction. Yes. That industry, and he's a small contractor, Corky. He's no big contractor, right? Right? So when he, with the hits with COVID and stuff, I mean, things have been tough. I mean, that's something. My husband loves beef. Beef is a little bit more expensive than chicken. So, you know, the first thing that would cut, he would say, no, I go eat beef when funds come in. And that's what I mean by we love hard, so, you know, we discipline hard. Because imagine I say to Jess, well, you know, you can't get new basketball shoes, but then I run in West Mall and pick up myself a dress. It ain't gonna look good. She knows that mommy and daddy will get things last. We will put ourselves last all the time. Right? So, when you get buff now, it's not a kind of a parenting style where, well, do as I say, not as I do. We don't ask Jessie to do something that we haven't done first, that we're not prepared to do, that we're not leading by example. And so I know sometimes it might come across that every Friday I come in to buff the listeners and talk about their responsibility in all of this, right? But hopefully they see it from a point of view as I'm not asking them to do anything that I myself haven't done, right? And we in this together, right? And I mean, when I was campaigning, I would tell constituents, I'd say, listen, I'm not coming with no magic wand, and I certainly not coming to try to make Diego Martin West, and it's impossible. I cannot make Diego Martin West better by myself. So if you're looking for somebody to partner with you and work shoulder to shoulder, step by step, then I'm your girl. Right? On the flip side, what's not going to happen is I'm going to sit down in an air-conditioned office and take home a big salary while you starve. So, that's where I'm coming from. And I hope my buff something, you know, you all understand it is from a place of love. And so I wear the t-shirt because, you know, I keep saying to people that we have to get creative. Now, if you notice, my t-shirt not printed. I didn't spend no money to print it. This is simply, and I did this literally in 10 minutes on my way. I was actually, how it come about was, because I bought painter, but the paint was going to take long and time.
Yes.
So I doing up Jessie's bag, putting all her information and thing when she go in, and then I using a little liquid paper pen, and I said, but it's looking good.
Yes.
So it's a liquid paper pen I take on a black t-shirt and put Rowley must go.
Yes.
Right? So my point is that we don't need to have a set of money.
Right.
You don't need to be in the Senate. You don't need much to agitate. Archie, you have a picture. Put it up there for me. Because I want to show the nation. And for those who not online and listening on the radio.
Yes.
It's basically the same as Rowley must go. They had a picture on the internet, you know, in the UK, because in the UK they calling for the head of the Prime Minister right now.
Wow.
So they were protesting, big sign, massive sign.
Right.
Johnson must go.
Johnson
Right?
must go.
I'm gonna find the picture. Right? So Johnson must go, and then they say he partied while people died.
Okay.
And that's his sign. Let me see if I could pull it up. I'll put it in camera here for you.
I'm seeing it here on
You see?
Douglar Radio.
Right. Okay, good,
Johnson
good,
must
good.
go.
Right. So notice, this is the way, and people protested against the Prime Minister for having gatherings.
Yes.
So this is no kind of massive corruption and stuff, right? I'm going to read an article here for y'all. You know I like to read my articles and things, right? So you will see waiting to exhale. This is a newspaper article. Waiting to exhale. And it's Boris Johnson. Right? I highlight a few things. Listen to this. Johnson has urged his critics to wait for Gray's conclusions. I have Gary on my mind because I'm going there just now. But his wait and see defense weakened Tuesday when police said they had opened a criminal investigation into some of the gatherings. So I want to say that again. Police opened a criminal investigation, partner.
Yes.
Into the gatherings. Now, we want to talk about the opposition being petty because we say no bear blight for Rowley and that kind of thing. But this man, and so I want to go further down. Right?
Yes.
Because the media and the citizens and everybody were infuriated. So it said the Partygate allegations have infuriated many in Britain. Tens of thousands of people were fined by police for breaking the rules.
Yes.
So now it goes on now because people now trying, his supporters now, they're trying to come to his defense. So I'm sure there are ministers that get parking tickets and speed fines too, he said. Lots of people break small laws unintentionally. Johnson and his allies have tried without much success to calm a scandal that is consuming government energies that could be better spent confronting the international crisis over Russia's military buildup near Ukraine and a far from finished coronavirus pandemic. Let me read this again. Johnson and his allies have tried without much success.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago. He ain't rob no bank. He ain't thief millions and millions and possibly billions of dollars.
No.
He ain't raid the HSF and has not come and accounted for the billions of dollars spent.
Yes.
But look at the way that the media and the citizens have grabbed onto him, and they will not let him go. Because that is the integrity of the Westminster system. We have gotten our parliament and the way of governance, we've gotten it from the UK. Right? We still have Privy Council and then that's where we go.
Yes.
So we must become like their citizens. And our media must become like their media.
Right.
In the UK, they hold politicians and citizens alike to the highest level of integrity. And that's why I had you play those two songs for me.
Yes.
Because there comes a point, Trinidad and Tobago, where we must say enough is enough to our culture. In the 1980s, the first ever Prime Minister of Singapore came to Trinidad in Williams' days, Eric Williams' days. And we like to use the term carnival mentality, but I don't know if we understood or we know the history of where that come from. He was one of the first people, Corky, to coin that term.
Right.
Basically what he said was, Trinidad ain't go nowhere because of the carnival mentality. Because of course we would know that Singapore and Trinidad and Tobago became independent the same time.
Yes.
And Singapore was a poor, tiny little nation.
For Singapore.
And Trinidad was wealthy. I mean, we have every natural resource under the sun. And under the sea too. But when he visited Trinidad, he said, our carnival mentality will keep us back. And here we are, nearly 60 years later. He has gone on and he has died. Singapore now is a massive country, first world status, and we are still struggling to get water in our pipes. People are still using outhouses. Many cannot access basic education and proper health care.
Outhouse.
Right? So those two songs, as much as we chip to them and we beat to them and whatever,
Yes.
but This is our business. So it have no sip your water and mind your business.
Jamming still.
It has to be an insult for us to jump to a song that says the country burning down and we could jam still.
Yes.
Where is the fury, the rage at real things, not Miss Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes.
And we go to, I know, a real thing, because talking about Miss Trinidad and Tobago, Marlene Atts, I love Marlene Atts in the newspaper.
Where's she at?
She is a
Okay.
she's a UE economist.
Okay.
And she says, referring to Miss TT World's comments about a 20% poverty level, Atts said, this is not something which ought not to be said publicly. Unless we confront the challenges that we have in the country, moving forward, we will not be able to achieve the kinds of results that we want.
Right.
Our rage is misplaced, Trinidad and Tobago. Where's the Johnson must go? Right, it's still there on the screen. We must take a page out of the books of the citizens of the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Listen, the allegations here. Had this been brought by Kamla Prasad Bissessa, you know what they would have said? Oh, she petty. Oh, we just looking for ting.
Ting.
Because one of these things was his birthday. And they say, well, you know, his staff basically had a little cake and ice cream and thing. You think the citizens of the United Kingdom want to hear that? Nope, they don't want to hear that. One for all, that is how it is. One rule for everybody. And you cannot come and say no gatherings, but then there are allegations that you are gathering. Now compare that to Faris Al-Rawi, who was wrestling with people on TV. Compare that to a prime minister who stands up every Saturday without a mask and speaking to people. Compare that with a prime minister who come on television and boasts that he break COVID protocol. And we can't lock him up. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to say that the only person left to blame is ourselves. I can no longer blame Keith Rowley, because we have created that monster. We have no one else to blame but ourselves. We have created that monster because we have allowed it. And I'm going to talk to my Diego Martin West people here. I am 38 years old. Rowley has been the MP for 30 something years. All I know is Keith Rowley as an MP.
Right.
All I know is Keith Rowley as an MP. And Big Yard is no different to when I was growing up there. In fact, some will tell you it is worse. Because I used to be able to walk up the street by Clarence. Exactly, look the picture. Hugging up.
Who's this guy he's hugging up here?
This was some radio personality, but look at it.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I know that face.
Exactly.
Yes.
And when it is,
This is,
look at it. Look at the behavior.
In the movies there.
Look at the behavior. And then the experts will want to come and talk about following the science and say, well, you know, Trinidad is a place I'd love to hug, do hug, give fisting, give elbow and all kind of thing. But look at his behavior.
Yes.
You could see Faris getting on like that. You could see, and look at Johnson Musco. Look at the way. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have no one else to blame but ourselves. And I'm dropping the media in that. Because if you follow what is going on in the UK, the media, and they're not letting go of Johnson. You think the media could be bought out? The media is the final estate of our democracy. They are the guardian of our democracy. They are the ones to uphold that integrity. They are the ones to hold our leaders to a different level of integrity. So, you think anybody talking about, well, the Labour Party do this, or who is the opposition leader? Nobody cares. Because as far as they are concerned, Boris Johnson is the one who is in charge of the UK.
Right.
He is the one who campaigned, and he is the one who got the votes. So he must be the one to lead the charge. And you
Yes.
can't be shutting us down and finding people left, right, and center, and then you do not uphold the very same regulations that your government passed. Faris Al-Rawi, he's the one, he and he government and Rowley, they passed the law. It must be front and center in your mind,
Right.
and you must go. I have something I want to play, but I don't know if I'm going to play it. It might
Right.
take a little while. Maybe I should play it. I'm going to find it for you on YouTube. You go stick it in there for me. Put it on a little 10 seconds while I put back on the media. Hold on, I'm going to put back on my sound.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yes. It's actually on YouTube. You want to find it?
Yes. Give me the link.
If I send you the link? Alright, hold on. I'm going to send you the link. But it's a 20-minute something, eh? So that's why I say maybe you can just stick the thing in my phone here.
Okay, yes, we'll
Yes,
do that.
let's stick the phone. So just stick the phone and then press play.
Press play.
Yes.
All right, stand by.
Okay. Now, next week. Hold on.
What's that?
I'll come in by you. I'll close my mouth because I don't have my mask on. Hold on.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
You better take out the casing. It's a high-tech phone. Yes. Okay, so press play, right?
Yes, well, I didn't want to talk while I was next here without a mask. Right,
All
press
right,
play there
let's
for me.
go. Press play here.
Yeah, press it.
It's
Play.
sort of down inside, right?
No, yeah, press play. It right where you
All
want
right,
it.
good.
Oh, I have to turn up the volume because I had all the volume down.
On the 1st of December, the Prime Minister told this House in relation to
Right, we need to start back.
It playing?
Start it back.
partagen lockdown. All guidance was followed completely in number 10.
It playing?
Yes.
On the 8th
Okay.
of December, looks critical, he said it. On the 8th of December, the Prime
Is
Minister
that
told
all
this
your
House,
volume?
I have been repeatedly assured, since these allegations emerged, there was no party. So since he acknowledges the ministerial code applies to him, will he now resign?
We'll play it back for you.
Right.
On the 8th of December, the Prime Minister told this House, and therefore, if he misled Parliament, he must resign. I think the Prime Minister said yes, he agrees the code does apply to him.
Well, people being out of work, people on the payroll now than they were before the pandemic began. And we're launching a policy tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. He talks
Hey,
about
play it louder, this
people
man.
being out
You
of
playing
work.
it now? I can hear it.
I understand why he wants it. We're launching a plan tomorrow, Mr. Speaker, to get 500,000 people off welfare into work. It's a fantastic idea. I hope he supports it.
I think the Prime Minister said yes, he agrees the code does apply to him.
right.
And therefore, if he misled Parliament, he must resign. On the 1st of December, the Prime Minister told this House, in relation to parties during lockdown, all guidance was followed completely in number 10, from that dispatch box. On the 8th of December, looks critical, he said it. On the 8th of December, the Prime Minister told this House, I have been repeatedly assured, since these allegations emerged, there was no party. So since he acknowledges the ministerial code applies to him, will he now resign?
No, Mr. Speaker. But, since he asked...
Okay, so let's pause it there.
Right.
Right.
Pause it. Then pause it.
Yes.
Pull it out there. Pull out the phone.
That's right. Good.
Right.
So what they're saying there that
But what I want to show, there's a few things, and we could get these things in the Parliament. Pass my
yes,
my
here you
case there
are.
for me.
It's your case.
All you have to do is go onto YouTube. Actually, you know what? You go onto YouTube
Yes.
and you pull up UK Parliament Live.
All right, I'll do that now.
Right? Because what you will see, and again, I believe in us being a politically educated society. So a lot of people like to talk about how the opposition behaves in Parliament.
Yes.
I want you all to go and visit Canada's Parliament, the UK Parliament. Yes, look at right there.
Right.
They're right there.
This one, right? Yeah.
And you visit and you see the way that they behave, the way that the speaker does not interject every 2 seconds with a standing order, the way that the ministers do not interject every 2 minutes with a standing order. In fact, if you ask me, it sounds like a proper fish market.
Right.
But listen to the question. Listen to the question that the opposition leader asked the Prime Minister.
Right.
Let me tell you, Bridget would never have allowed such a question, because basically he tell him, you need to resign. You need to resign. And it's over a party, over a gathering, right? And you don't see the speaker getting involved. The speaker does let them go. And that is why we need to know these things.
But why is it a lot of leaders not interested in COVID and people who are dying?
What do you mean? But
Well, like you're saying, they're partying, having a good time, they're jamming still.
Well, because...
And it's carnival around the corner and people might be dying and people whining.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
All right.
That's a different story.
How is
I believe, well, I have spoken about, I believe that life and livelihood must be balanced. We cannot indefinitely shut down Corky. We can't. Who is paying our bills if the country indefinitely shuts down? You cannot do that. You have to find a way, and there is a way. There is a way. Right? It calls for good leadership. It calls for vision. There are countries who are successfully managing, balancing life and livelihood.
Will the country benefit from having carnival? Or will it still be no jobs?
Carnival, yes.
What?
Absolutely.
The roads will
Corky.
fix and people will get money?
No, Corky. There are people who cannot earn an income. Their entertainment, their carnival, their all of that. And you have to start a thing. And so I'm going to quote it for you. Let me quote it for you. We must not allow ourselves, and all this come from the same article. This one was said by Sabga. We must not allow ourselves to be manipulated by social media's prioritization of the need to be right over the need to allow voices to be heard. We must recognize that truth may be the first step to healing and renewing necessary social contracts. Right? I want to read what At said. There must be an appreciation that contending views can coexist once you can converge to the desired outcome. And that is the whole thing. Listen, Corky.
Yes, ma'am.
We as a people must understand that everybody has to live. We must sit and we must think about the other person. That was my Christmas message, esteeming our citizens above ourselves. We have to sit and think, because I don't like carnival, I don't drink alcohol, so it matters not to me whether bars open. In fact, it matters not to me whether school open, because my children home. But what I can appreciate is there is a whole creative industry that have been put out of work.
Right.
And what I also know is that Trinidadians and Tobagonians are creative people. There is a way. It will take proper planning, proper consultation, Corky, but there is a way where we can earn income. Now, the way that carnival has been for years now, it's not profitable. So I'm not even discussing carnival back to normal, because carnival back to normal was not profitable. But we must appreciate that there are people, Corky, who earn an income through that industry. And we must strive to find a way. We must strive to find a way.
Because they won't earn anything any other way right now in the country but sell the food and drinks.
But you see, because you are thinking about it from only the Rowley way of carnival, which is not lose money. And I'm not talking about that. And that is Eric Williams and P&M way. Where you do something for doing something's sake. So you have free education for free education's sake, but this is not efficient. That is not what I am speaking about. And that's why I say I'm not talking about no P&M stupid style nonsense carnival. But we look on television, and I spoke about this last week, so this is not really where I want to go. But we look on boxing, we look on Olympics. If the Olympics and everything else can happen, then yes, absolutely carnival can happen. Not in the stupid way that it happens all the time, that don't make money, and it's just a drain on the economy. But this is where proper planning must happen. Right? Could you imagine we don't even have a budget? And that's the whole point. We are not planning properly. So obviously what we do is fail execution. Because you cannot say to me that you were planning to have carnival, the only mother of all carnivals, and you didn't even set a budget. Proper planning. Proper planning. You fail to plan to fail. And that is the whole thing. So yes, I could see people saying, well, carnival not necessary, but then education not necessary, nothing necessary. Nothing is necessary if you want to talk about COVID. Then technically we could say the radio not necessary. This is entertainment. What we doing here? What you doing here, Corky?
Me? Oh, I'm doing my job.
But that's my point. And
Yes.
so we must appreciate that everybody
Yes.
has a job.
Yes.
And we must find a way for our jobs to be done in a manner that is safe. Right?
Safe.
Everybody has a job to do, and we must find a way to balance life and livelihood. And I'm moving away from that. Because, well, we could say all it, huh? But again, that is poor leadership. We are seeing antigen testing happening all over the world. You can get a free test in Florida, yet in Trinidad and Tobago, to get a test is $300, $400 for a 15-minute rapid antigen test.
Right.
We are in flu season, which means, and flu looks just like COVID. So, somebody have a little sniffle, what they have to do? Go to the health center and wait 2 weeks and quarantine for 21 days. No way, no how. In the US, once you have no symptoms, within 5 days you can move about. We have got to learn to live with this pandemic. We have got to learn to live with it. So this is fear-mongering that the PNM like to use when we talk about people dying all over the place. Corky, more people die of diabetes.
Yeah.
More people die of heart conditions in Trinidad and Tobago. More people die of lifestyle diseases in Trinidad and Tobago. So you want a fearmonger over that. Fearmonger over doubles and a red solo. Fearmonger over KFC. Fearmonger over that. Fearmonger over the fact that fast food is cheaper and more convenient than a proper home-cooked meal. Because if we really wanted to talk about the health of our country, that's where we should go. We should be talking about the obesity levels in Trinidad and Tobago, the diabetes. Diabetes is out of control in Trinidad and Tobago
But
because everybody does drink a chubby.
Has the healthcare system has been good in Trinidad from ever since?
It gets worse.
Right. And then COVID hit. So how come?
Right.
Where's the
But
difference?
the problem is the management.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is, we have COVID and everybody wants to say, well, shutting down. You cannot shut stuff down. You cannot. Because there are people in this country who live day to day. There are people in this country, Corky, that live day to day. You cannot shut them down. And that's the whole point. That is what you're seeing here. So let's go back. Miss Arts, right?
Yes.
One of the things that COVID has exposed are the inequalities in our society. That is quoted by Marlene Atts, UE economist.
Right.
So we know some people are going to be left behind. This means TT will have to play catch up to help these people. So you can't say, Corky, that these industries are not important. Every industry right now in Trinidad and Tobago is important and needs to be out there working. We need to be out there working. But because the government is not managing COVID properly, we have unnecessary lockdowns. You want to talk about follow the science? World Health Organization has said that lockdowns must be short-term and the last resort. From the very get-go, we have not tested enough. The opposition has been calling for rapid antigen testing. We continue to be too little, too late with this COVID. Everywhere else in India, okay, the population is massive. So the government can't just give away 4 to every citizen, right? 4 free tests to every citizen. But you could get a test in India for as little as $5 TT. Right? These tests are available. These tests are available around the world at reasonable figures. So what should be happening, Corky,
Yes.
is before you go to the bar, when you enter the bar, and you see this happen in places like Israel and stuff, when you're going into the nightclub, you're going into the bar, they just ask you to do a little test right there. Because within 10 minutes, you get your results. You want to go play a hockey match, they ask you to test. You want to go to school, you must test every other day. Because the tests are available. In Trinidad, that's not happening. And I was talking about the flu season. We are in the height of the flu season. So what you want somebody to do every time they have a sniffle? Stay home? And I'm not talking about, well, okay, you have a sniffle, but you work in close proximity to people and whatnot. I'm talking about, this isolation, this complete isolation for a sniffle. Yeah. Well, just test. End all the confusion and test.
Right.
If we were testing every other day, we would not have to be in this situation where we're still locking down, but they're operating vi all over the place. Right? It's beyond me. It is beyond me. We have the Caroni bird sanctuary tours. Thank God for the opposition. And Corky, you're really taking me far away, but I will come back after the break and we're going to start the show again.
All right.
Right? But thank God, because the media, and that's why I say the media has their role to play and they're not playing it. Right. When you see Dinesh Rambali, that's an opposition MP, and he is all over the country taking on this government, using the tools that we have available to us, taking the government back and forth, to and fro. And it is because of the UNC's activism. Those operators who have had their tours shut down for the last 2 years, cannot earn an income, are now able to, thank God, because they were able to pressure the government to say, listen, you can't have the tour operators closing off at 2 p.m. Nobody's watching the flamingos and whatnot. Nobody's watching the scarlet ibis. The whole experience. Right. Nobody's watching them at 2 o'clock hot sun. Yes. It happens when it's cool, when the sun is setting. So you have to have an extension. You have to understand how these things work. Right? And it's because the UNC beaten Faris in court left, right and center that we are seeing that the government is doing something. Right? So now we have, as I say, the situation with the beach. The extended hours is now 6 o'clock. So it's helping. But these kinds of restrictions are there, Corky, because they are approaching this COVID management as lazy as it gets. As lazy as it gets. Right? And then this is the issue. This is why we have called. We don't want no committee handpicked by the Prime Minister. That is the problem. We don't want nothing handpicked by the Prime Minister. We want an independent commission of inquiry. Yeah. We want it set up a tribunal, proper things, independent organizations that is away from political interference, to sit and dig into the spending of COVID. The Minister of Health will talk about, the Minister of Finance talks about $5 billion. Where all the money that we brought in, that we took out from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, those things must be accounted for, and they must be accounted for properly. I know you have to go on a break, so we're going to go on a break, and then we're going to come back again, because it's the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Fire Fridays with Marsha Waker on Douglar Radio and U975 FM, hot like pepper.
What goes in?
Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chima, and Glory's Bar at 585 Southern Main Road, McBean for a hot light pepper on the road show and after work line. 3 beers for $30 special. Table tennis, pool table with a road show experience that you won't forget. See and be there at Jerry Junction Bar and Glory's Bar, 585 Southern Main Road, McBean Village, Couva.
La Penca Bar and Grill, located at Light Pole number 85 Calcutta Settlement Road, number 1 Freeport. Thursdays karaoke nights, Fridays after work lime, Sundays breakfast and Latin night. Come for the enjoyable experience.
Let's have a drink, let's have a drink.
Precious Bar 1, located at number 2 Tahadale Road, Charleville. Drink special, cutters, and get free fish broth every Sunday. Precious Bar, number 2 Tahadale Road, Charleville. Club Coconuts, located at number 234 Kakandi Road, Felicity. Visit us today for specials on all alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. Get bonus prizes on slot machines. All COVID-19 protocols observed at Club Coconuts, located at number 234 Kakandi Road, Felicity. Should warn us.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Precious Bar, located at number 186 Kakandi Road, Felicity. Drink special, cutters, and get free fish broth every Sunday. For On the Road campaign, free tequila shots for all the ladies during the event, and beers reduced to $11. Precious Bar, number 186 Kakandi Road, Felicity.
Douglar Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts. Bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. Douglar Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. Come on, what you say? Come on.
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
Marsha Waker. Join me on U975, Hot Like Pepper, and Douglar Radio every Friday for Fire Friday. Fire Friday.
Friday, mash up the place. Friday, in front of the face. Friday, with like them black. Friday, I'm back.
Friday.
Ay.
Payday?
Thank God it is. Well, I don't know. It's payday Friday for you?
Well, you can say that, yeah.
Well, it's payday because you got to see me. Is that what it is?
Oh, yes.
Let's see how Corky's watching me.
That t-shirt, Rowley must go.
Corky.
Yes.
Right. So that's why you all might be missing me, but we're trying. I know Alan trying and he gonna work out something for me, right? Yes, right. So we're going back to what we were talking about in the beginning, with the UK and the way that they behave, because I want citizens to understand that it is our responsibility. So coming back now to something here. You all know I like to find newspaper articles and thing, right?
Yes.
So Maduro recall faces impossible conditions. Right? I want Trinidad and Tobago to understand that Venezuela didn't become how they became overnight. Right?
Okay.
And we must look at the signs. Just like COVID.
Yes.
We were not the first to get it. So the countries that go before us, we have the benefit of looking on and learning from them. We must ask ourselves why countries like Norway, who only now discover oil, have been able to become rich. We must ask ourselves, did Eric Williams really do us justice? We had oil from the get-go, we had sugar cane. I mean, we were the boast people. I mean, we were the top in the Caribbean. We were the pearl of the Caribbean, you know, the apple of the Caribbean's eye. We had everything. Did he do us an injustice? PNM had this country for the formative years of our country. And we must look at the signs and we must be willing to say, truthfully, when you are faced with new information, am I going to be wrong and strong just because this is all I know? Or am I going to take a step back and say, you know, these people and them, I feel they take me for a fool. And I can't continue to be loyal to somebody who taking me for a fool. Because Eric Williams, PNM, you all had everything. So why it is my neighborhood still looks the way it looks? And as I said, I grew up in a constituency where Rowley was in charge all my life. And it looks worse today than it did 30 years ago because I was selling a corky. I could have walked up to buy Mr. Clarence and buy a biscuit cake. 30 years ago, well, it might have been about 20 years ago. I wasn't 8 walking up buying biscuit cake.
Yeah.
Right? 25 years ago, I could have walked up to buy Mr. Clarence and buy my biscuit cake. My aunts could have walked up by Mr. Clarence and buy bread. Now you're scared to walk up by Mr. Clarence because just a few years ago, a young lady was shot by Mr. Clarence.
Wow.
And killed. So, our constituency has only gotten worse. And we've had only Dr. Rowley as the MP. So I don't know how he could blame Kamala for Diego Martin West. Because not only is he the MP for the last 30-something years, he has been the Prime Minister. And the Diego Martin Regional Corporation is a PNM corporation, so there is no excuse. There is no excuse for Big Yard to look the way it's looking. But I want the people of Big Yard to understand their worth. Because we have a culture of poverty. We have a culture where we believe what we're living in is all that we have, all that we could have.
Yes.
So we happy. So this jamming still. And we've been taught, we've been brainwashed. Not taught, we've been brainwashed to believe that wanting more and that ambition is somehow you never being satisfied with what you have and you being ungrateful. That is not true. I can be grateful for Big Yard. Because let me tell you, Big Yard was there when I watched my mother and I say, listen, we had to leave. And my mother say, she don't have nothing. And my father laughed. My father said, and I love my daddy, yeah? Loved, he's dead.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But what he was doing was not right. And I ain't gonna go down marriage and all that. But I know that my mother wasn't going to leave if we weren't coming, or so I knew it was hard. So I said to her, we're gonna leave. I think she tells me, I told her, two sticks harder to break than one.
Yes.
My father thought that we would be back by the morning, because you're leaving what would be, typical middle income, you have a hot and cold water, whatnot and whatnot. And where we went
Yes.
was not what we are accustomed to. Right? At the time, my uncle, who, was a drug addict, he lived there. I don't know if you ever tried to live with a drug addict, Corky.
No.
But, even the toilet paper, if you leave it in the toilet...
I don't tolerate drug addicts.
Well, this is my uncle, and he was living there, and he have all rights to the property the same way, right?
I don't like to smell that kind of...
So, that was that. And we had to go there, and so my mother, my brother, and I lived in a little 10 by 10 bedroom. My aunt and her son lived in the other bedroom, and then, my uncle lived in one. And it was difficult. We had a hole in the wall in the kitchen. Like, literally, there was a big hole in the wall in the kitchen. The bathroom, is mossy, and it was not an outhouse. So it was not an outhouse, but it you get the breeze, you get the draft coming in and whatnot.
Right.
It is a little bit mossy.
Was it an outhouse, in-house?
Well, actually, I have used outhouses that may have been a better condition, right?
Yeah.
We didn't flush the toilet with you press the knob and it whatnot.
Yes.
But so I am grateful for Big Yard.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, on any given day, Auntie Judy, her pilau used to be peppery.
Yes.
But you know what? I know that that food kept us, because Mommy would not have been able.
Mommy's alive, right?
Mommy is alive.
Right.
God bless her soul. And she is doing well now.
Right.
So Big Yard was there for us when we needed.
Right.
And I remember one of my first speeches, I said, I don't like to hear when people say, well, we make it out. I don't like that. Because what I want, I miss Big Yard. Because my cousins and my aunts and they still live there.
Where's Big Yard?
In Carenage, in Diego Martin West, in Rowley Town.
Okay.
Right? It's a little fishing village.
Alright.
The best fish, I will go, I pay for my fish sometimes. My aunt is still call me. And that is the people. That is the kind of people you will find in Big Yard.
Yes.
Don't mind they try to criminalize the place. But I always used to say I grew up where Courts and KFC didn't deliver. You call and they say, hi, I'd like to order something, right? And they say, well, where you living? Big Yard? No, well, we don't come there. Say, I don't meet them on the corner.
Okay.
Right? So they like to make it out as there's only criminals living there and whatnot.
Alright.
But the people are warm. They're very hardworking. It get me mad when people say to me, oh, they poor because they're lazy. I watch my aunts and them wake up 4 o'clock every morning and cook food my aunt would cook food and leave for her children and everything and then go out to work. And she do that all her life, one job since I know her.
Right.
Don't miss no work. So she not, and she will say she not poor, right? Because she not poor by the standards of the $1,000 a month, not by UN standards poor. But the kind of work ethic that she has, she should be a millionaire. And had we had a country that was equitable, that allowed people to save and work hard and have opportunity, she would be. And that is what I have a problem with. I have a problem with these Diego Martin West and other PNM safe seats that continue to just deteriorate under the PNM. And this is why I say, Diego Martin West, you have to see that you're worth more than PNM. You're worth more than having an MP there who is the prime minister, who has the regional corporation, and you still can't get your garbage collected. You are worth more than that. Do not allow the brainwashing of the PNM to believe that wanting better is a sign of ingratitude. I could love Big Yard and still know I want better for Big Yard. I could say thank you for the education system, but it could be better.
Yes.
And that is why I'm saying, Corky, that there's a mindset that PNM is a slavery. It just have a new form, Slavery wasn't abolished. It's just in a new form now.
Yes.
So, you have this kind of parenting style, Corky,
Yes.
where eat what I give you and hush.
Yes. Take that.
Take that, exactly. And it's not a matter of, there are days where I'd say it and I'm not afraid to say it. People like to say, you're singing for your supper, well, you ain't seeing paying me. Right? And keep Rowley shut down construction for so long, I ain't afraid to say it. Right. We live on a very tight budget. So when I say to my daughter, she can't get, so like, for instance, well, with my health and stuff, even all of that, we can't eat the fruits like we would like to, or we can't eat the salmon and whatnot.
Yes.
So you can't be too picky with the food. But maybe what I could do is do a mac and cheese for you. I don't mean the box mac and cheese, I mean macaroni with grated cheese,
Yes.
Right?
Favorite.
Or we do like an egg fried rice.
Okay.
Right? Egg fried rice is the cheapest thing to make. Rice, and you throw egg in it, and you could eat that.
Rice and egg.
Right? So she may not, because she don't like stew.
Okay.
Right? She's not a fan of the stew chicken. But that is where I believe that kind of mature parenting, that first world parenting, that true liberated parenting comes in, where we could sit together and we could say, okay, listen,
Yes.
this is where we are financially. How can I work with you to put something on the table that you enjoy? So, for instance, every other day I need flour and make bread.
Right.
Homemade bread tastes much better.
Home. When you make it home.
Yes, homemade bread is cheaper and it tastes better. She likes sada, so I will make sada. Right?
Who likes sada?
My daughter.
Okay.
Right? Well, both of them. The two of them, the big one and the young one, like sada.
Right.
Right? My husband prefers bread. Now I make a cinnamon loaf the other day. Well, they say don't make no bread again. They just want cinnamon loaf. So all they eat cinnamon loaf all day. But the cinnamon loaf, you can't make a sandwich with that, Nah, that's all we'll eat.
Yes.
So even with a tight budget,
Yes.
there is a way that you can treat them that they still don't feel is, well, eat that and take it.
Yes.
And that parenting style of, well, you have a house over your, a roof over your head, so you must be grateful.
Yes.
That basic way of loving people must end.
Yes.
So PNM, and so you see it in a lot of our parenting style and a lot of our leadership style. So bosses feel that, well, so you want me thank you for the job that I paying you to do? Yes.
Yes.
That is the way it should be.
All right.
You must, because you know what? Some people get paid and still do a rubbish job. We must go beyond and we must mature in the way that we lead, whether we lead our households or lead our country. And so that kind of mentality of, well, I give you free education, so hush your mouth and take everything else, you're ungrateful.
Yeah.
I'm not ungrateful. I appreciate the opportunity to, because, Sarah, our 2-year-old, we go for shots in the public health system. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm going to tell you, to make her, I most certainly did not go in no public health system, because anybody who has had a child in St. Clair Hospital versus in Port of Spain General Hospital will understand it is chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
It is chalk and cheese. It is no comparison. None whatsoever. So yes, we are grateful, but it does not mean that it is not insufficient. I can be grateful and I can say, okay, one, I thank you for your fight in getting us independence.
Right.
I thank you for some of the social services that you have put in place. But when you consider the income that you have earned, in no way it is enough. And that's what it is. Is my father, imagine my father working for $20,000 a month, Corky, and coming to tell me I had to eat bread and butter every night. It's one thing when I'm making $1,000 a month and I saying to my child, okay, we're going to drink bay leaf tea. We're going, you had to eat homemade bread and it will be butter or whatever, right?
Yes.
But not when you're making $20,000 a month, you're making $100,000 a month and want to come and tell me I must wear rubber slippers, stay with a shoe that have a hole in it.
Butter bullet.
Right? And that is the difference.
Yeah.
It's one thing if the country did not have the resources,
Yes.
but we have seen oil boom after oil boom. And what our citizens have in return for it is not, it doesn't matter. Kamala like to say, your math's not mathsing. And that is what I want PNM safe seat, Tego Martin West, Laventille East, Laventille West. That's what I want you all to see. That the kind of income that has come into our forefathers' hands and into our leaders' hands,
Yes.
the money that PNM has earned, it doesn't add up to what we are seeing.
Thank you, ma'am.
It does not add up. And I want to talk about this UNC PNM same thing something. People like to say, oh, UNC PNM is the same thing. Let me show you all a basic example of how we are not the same thing. Dave Tanku, he is the chairman of UNC. He's the MP for Oropuch. Penal Debate Corporation is UNC. That is a safe seat, as safe a seat as you could get. PNM don't even have a toe inside of their cookie. They ain't have no alderman, they ain't have no councillor, they ain't have nothing.
Right.
That is UNC. That is UNC till they're dead. When they talk about Tego Martin West is PNM safe seat, that is no PNM safe seat because Rowley cannot win with 50%. He wins with less than 50% every time. Not like Penal and them kind of place. Right? Let me explain something to you. Dave Tanku still stand up in his black t-shirt in the hot sun and protested with his people. He could say, well, me ain't farting on them because them go vote for we anyway. So it doesn't matter if they have water. It doesn't matter if they garbage collected. It doesn't matter if they drain clean. He don't have to do that. Yeah. Because vote coming his way anyway. Dave Tanku was out, and this is not the first time. He has protested so many times. He was out here this week again protesting in a safe seat. I ain't never see Rowley protest for no drain to be cleaned in Big Yard. I ain't never see Rowley protest for garbage to be picked up in Big Yard. Because as I say, Rowley is the Prime Minister and we still can't get garbage picked up in Big Yard. So do not come and tell me that PNM and UNC is the same thing. Because right now, UNC MPs in safe seat fighting for their constituents. They're protesting, they're taking the fight to the ground. So they're not just in Parliament. And that's MP stands for Member of Parliament. An MP is somebody who crafts policy. He technically don't fight up on no box drain and them kind of thing. That's councillor work. That's corporation work. That's local government thing.
Right.
He is supposed to put on a suit and tie and be eloquent in Parliament and speak about the sexual offences bill. He's supposed to speak about the finance appropriation bill, and he's a policy maker. That is what he is. That is what MP stands for. Member of Parliament. So he must sit in his office, take information, and he can represent his constituents in Parliament.
Yes.
That is a safe seat. In a safe seat, Dave Tanku's office is open. In a safe seat, he is meeting with his constituents. In a safe seat, he puts on his t-shirt, takes off his suit, puts on his sneakers, and walks his constituency.
Okay.
In a safe seat, he protests for the people.
Right.
So you cannot tell me UNC PNM same thing. You cannot say that to me because I live in a PNM safe seat. And I am telling you, Keith Christopher Rowley don't protest for my garbage to be picked up. I I drive past Pearl Gardens, which is Diego Martin Central, which is Simon de Nobrega, and there's a leak for months.
Yes.
And all they like to say is they can't do nothing. You are our member of parliament. You were Simon de Nobrega was the chairperson of the Diego Martin Regional Corporation.
Right.
You have the Minister of Works, Minister of Public Utilities, Minister of Public Administration, Minister of everything, Minister of Public Utilities. You have the Prime Minister. You are in government, and you want to say to me that you cannot fix a leak in the road. That is the difference between PNM and UNC. Because crap or smoke your pipe if there's a PNM safe seat.
Yes.
Because it don't matter. Because you're going to vote for them anyway. So why they need to come and collect your garbage? Why do they need to fix? La Puerta had a leak for 6 years. It's because I call the councillor arrogant Amber because she hung up the phone on my constituents, and it's my constituents.
Yeah.
She hung up the phone. So it's because the video went viral. I see Wassa reach.
Oh.
When I worked with Andy Rodriguez from Glencoe, when we do a video, they come and fix it. Right? And that is the issue. That's the issue. Where they embarrass you all into doing work. Where is the representation? Because we voted for you. And that is the difference between PNM and UNC. UNC takes care of their own. PNM takes their own for granted. The PNM safe seats have been nothing but deteriorating. That's all you see. All you see in the last 30 years is deterioration. Where are the PNM MPs and councillors out there walking, protesting? They should be protesting. Michelle Benjamin, well, she's not a safe seat. But that is the MP you want in your marginals. Michelle Benjamin does bun tire with her constituents. Because she will do what it takes to get representation for her constituents. You don't get to ignore. And that is something we must see. We must see past. Because that is political victimization. They want, PNM want Michelle to look bad because they know it's a marginal seat. So they could say she's not performing. That's why they imagine Port of Spain Corporation. Imagine they could come and say, oh, they had money to put the turf down at Nelson Mandela Park. You had money to put a turf, but you can't send money to Penal to collect garbage and fix drains? No, man. It's millions of dollars. It was what 20 million or some ridiculous figure to put AstroTurf on Nelson Mandela, and you say, well, all you had the money? That is political victimization. Wow. Because you're very well trying to make UNC look bad. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we must see past all of it. We must see past all the performance, all the nonsense, and we must stand like those citizens in the UK, and we must say, Rowley must go. You cannot drink beer, or whatever it is you was drinking, because nobody does drink beer in a brown paper bag. That is real piper business. I wonder if Heinz look at him and say, I see the piper in you. You have a beer in a bag drinking from the beer, drinking alcohol from your bag. And you want me to believe that you weren't trying to really hide what you was doing. Why are you drinking your alcohol from in a bag? And then you have the gall and the arrogance to come in front of national television and tell people, well, we nearly put you behind bars.
I think
you should have paid your fine on your own. You know Brian Lara, he used to say, people used to know when he out, he's walk. He don't challenge nothing. Because he say, when you're out, you must walk. That is Rowley, when you're out, you must walk. Pay your fine. You pay your fine. You lead by example and pay your fine, because other people paying their fine. You think I could drink alcohol in public and break COVID health protocols? And the police say nothing. But Trinidad and Tobago, it is us to blame. Because we are not standing up like the people in the UK and
Yes,
saying
yes.
Rowley must go.
So what we must do is make some of those T-shirts you have on there.
Yes. And
we get some black
it
ones.
is a black T-shirt, and
Yes.
all I did
Yes.
was I used a
But
liquid
you did a
paper
good
pen.
job. Real good.
A liquid paper
Would that
pen.
come back off?
No, well, once I put on a liquid paper, it's done. That is it.
Could we get it like with paint on strong?
Oh, well, no. When you wash it, what do you
Yes.
mean? No, so it good. So
And we
you
could
can
put
wash it and then.
RMG to the back and just how you have it.
What's
there to the front.
RMG?
Rowley must go.
Right.
And then
Good.
we put
No. We
front.
put in the back. You deserve better, Marsha Waker for Digger Martin West. You have it like that. That's what we're putting in the back.
Yeah.
You deserve better.
Right.
Right? Because our citizens must understand.
So you gotta get some of these T-shirts.
Yes. Well, somebody sponsored now.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I find we should get a little sponsor,
You did
and then
good
they
job.
could and we could
Yeah.
give away. Well,
looks-
I could do that, you know.
It
if we
looks
get a little some-
original, yeah.
Right, and I could draw it on because printing could be a little expensive. So if we get some black T-shirts,
Yeah.
right? But more than that, remember, I don't want to do all the work. I want Trinidadians to start to do the work themselves.
Yes,
So you see how Terry talk about put T-shirt and cut it up and put it as a mask.
Right.
Get a T-shirt from home. You could use some white nail polish. You could use liquid paper cheap,
Okay.
right? And you do Rowley must go.
I'll have to take a photo of that so that.
I don't take a picture, go send it for you.
Yes.
I'll
send
take a
photo
picture.
So that's
Right? And we must do that cocky. I'll go bring one for you next week, eh?
all right.
I'll bring one for you next week. Tell me what size you're wearing. There's a small. What you want? A medium or a large?
All size, medium.
A medium.
Yeah, medium.
Right. And that's what we must do, Trinidad and Tobago. We have to begin to agitate for our democracy. As I said, I was talking about Maduro,
Yes.
right? They didn't become where they reach overnight.
Oh yeah.
But without proper agitation, and this is the frustration. Let me tell you our frustration, and this is where Keith Rowley reminds me of Maduro.
How's that?
Imagine, I know we have to seeing some calls coming in, right, guys? So we'll take some calls just now.
218-7762. Yeah.
So we'll take some calls 218-7762 because I did see just
Shortly,
now.
yeah.
Yes. So 218-7762. I will stop talking if a call comes, right?
Right. Yes.
But more UNC lawyers again, Anon Ramlugan. Oh God, okay. Well, give me the call there.
Yes. Hello.
Good night. You are live on U975 FM.
Yeah, good night. I want to speak to Marsha Waker, please.
You are live with Marsha Waker. How may I help?
Okay, well, Marsha Waker, good night at the same time. I spoke to you last week.
Uh-huh.
All right, but I'm in Trinity, and I support you all the way.
Thank you very much.
I against this government. Now, that jersey that you're wearing,
Uh-huh.
I'm not working. I'm not wealthy like before, but I'm not employed right now. But what I say, the one like that, don't mash them up.
Well, I really have to go and get these T-shirts done. So what we're going to do is we're going to find some sponsors,
Yes.
right?
Yes. But I'm telling you something, you see, this bitch, she had to go. Sorry for my language.
Yes, no,
And we
don't
had
say,
to-
don't say that language,
Watch your
because
speech.
we don't want to get cut off.
Yeah, but you should have a long time. This place lawless, it out of whack, bad.
All right.
Yes.
Right now, we're in a total mess, It's only Kamala and only could pull back, and God could pull back and
Yeah.
get rid of this man. Yeah, what I'm telling you, because the people that vote for them, some of the people telling me now, if they eat bread and they're hungry, they wouldn't bite.
You see?
I tell you that.
But they
That
like
man
to
is-
say
that-
those things. Listen, but I you can't say it now and then they don't vote, So you must make sure to keep their name and their number when they say it. These are the things that I want from us now, because we must come together. Anil and I and Kamlan and Jolene and them, we can't fight by ourselves. We need y'all. So you see, when you see people say, if Rowling are bread and they're hungry, they still won't bite, take the name and number. Find out from them what constituency they're in and bring it. We must start to collect data. So you see, when election time come, I must call them and say, listen, you remember about the bread and bite? I want to see you. So we must start to build a database of people who are fed up of Rowley. So because we calling for him, And they must start a write. Every single day we must start a write. Rowley must go. Put it on Facebook. Call him. Call his office. Email him. Rowley must go. And get their name and number so we will send t-shirts for them too.
What about a song?
Will we still have the call on the air?
Yes.
Yes,
you
it's still
dropped
there.
the call. Yeah, drop it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I dropped the call. Oh gosh,
Yes.
Jesus and ages. You know me and these calls, I'm not
Yes.
very good at that.
218-7762. 218-7762. Yes.
Hey, which song is this?
Your song.
Ay, yay! I have somebody say they'll sponsor some t-shirts. Good.
All right, good.
So I'm taking the name.
That's a nice start.
Good night, you're live with Marsha Waker.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good night.
I don't like how you start the program.
Oh gosh. How was that?
Yes. You started with outside, you started with people from Trinidad.
From Trinidad. You said
Ah, what you mean?
You said you should have started a show with people from Trinidad.
Oh, well, so who did I start with? Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay, he gone too?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just say that and
drop
gone?
the call, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello? The phone was ringing just now. Okay.
Yes, he said you should have started the program with people from. I think I heard that is what he said.
Yes, I don't know what he mean, but good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Good night, good night.
Hello.
I find this program should more be during the week because the kind of vibrancy we get sometimes going from Monday to Thursday need to go on to Friday. I find it should shift time during the week after lunch. That's kind of siesta program. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, so you want me to bring energy for you later during the week? Is what you're saying?
Yes, during the week.
He hang up too? Gosh, all I'm just saying that thing. You see, it's because you
see,
tell them
we
to
have
be
a lot-
short and sweet.
yeah, we have a lot of
okay, yes,
calls
I
coming in.
understand.
Hello?
Hello. Good night.
Good
You
night,
are live.
Marsha.
Hello.
Good night, Corky.
Good evening.
I would like a t-shirt, please. Marsha, I cannot see, right? But from what I'm hearing, I would like to get one, please.
Well, we need to get your name and number. So what you have to do, and we have a WhatsApp number too.
Yes, it's
No,
three.
I don't have that.
Oh, she doesn't have it.
Well, how we? Okay, so what we're gonna do?
Press button phone.
All right. So what we will do is we will get some T-shirts and we will maybe leave it in the radio station. How's about that? And y'all can
Yeah.
collect there.
I wear medium, eh?
Okay. All right. So what is your name?
Angela. Mama.
Hold on. I have to find a pen. Wait.
Angela.
Angela, wait. I'm looking for a pen.
Angela.
Corky. I'm looking
Yes,
for a pen.
A pen.
Corky, give me a pen.
Okay, there's a pen somewhere.
I can give you my number, you know.
But I don't want you to say your number on air. Don't say your number on air.
I don't mind my number. I've been knocking door.
Oh, you don't mind? You don't mind giving me your number?
Oh, Lossie.
All right.
Can I give it?
All right.
Hold on.
All right. Give me your number.
278
Yes.
8289.
All right. What time can I call you?
Hey, Corky, stop it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And where are you from, caller?
I'm from Enterprise.
Oh, Enterprise.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks for calling. Yes, you have a number.
Yes, I have it. Okay.
She's from Enterprise.
Well, we need some T-shirts.
Next call.
Good night.
Hello.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Good evening.
Are you talking really long and get off?
I'm so sorry. Oh gosh,
The
yes.
last two callers called, let's look off this too. Yeah, that's how the program was done. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So you say some people find you talk too long, some people find you cut out short, too short. So
Well, that's all right. It's
right,
okay.
next call.
We strive to please
Hello,
everyone.
hello.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Hello, good night, Marsha, and good night, Corky.
Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I love your t-shirt, so I need one.
Everybody needs T-shirts. Of course, we need a
This
sponsor.
is Sandra Mangal.
Yes.
Yes,
And,
Sandra.
Yes, Mangal from Kelly Village.
Yes.
You know, I always supporting you, all right?
Yes.
You know,
Well,
and
we're
I
going to
love you
find
all
a
very, very
sponsor.
much.
We're going to
Huh?
find a sponsor to do some T-shirts.
And make some big ones like 1X, 2X, something now.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you want my phone number? I could text it in radio WhatsApp.
Yes, you'll send a text.
Send
to
it
that.
to, right,
Send a text,
okay, yeah, send a text.
I'll send it to radio WhatsApp and Cookie D or take it down,
Cookie, that is the 378
and
number.
Give Marsha it for me.
Okay, yes, she's on.
Marsha?
Yes.
I would like to thank you very much and say congratulations on your good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so you could always call me on it on WhatsApp.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, so make sure on WhatsApp
Yes.
the number.
Sure. Next call, yes. 2187. Yes. Okay.
Good night, you are live. Yes, boy, calls galore.
Hello.
You are live with Marsha Waker.
Good afternoon, Marsha and Corky.
Good evening.
How are you?
I am great. And Marsha, I hope you don't mind giving you some tips to enhance the graphics of your T-shirt.
Well, so let me bad talk my own T-shirt first before you bad talk it,
No, I'm
right?
not bad talking it. I want.
But my Rowley was a little bit not center.
It's perfect.
All right. With the wording,
yes.
Put an arrow.
And
put next to the arrow the Lokoto Jombe.
Oh gosh,
right.
no, gosh,
That's
no,
too
no,
much
no.
writing. Yeah.
Yes.
Lokoto.
But okay, so let me give you the history of that.
Yes.
The Prime Minister, which is why I said I cannot support Brian Manning serving underneath this Prime Minister.
Right.
But he talked about, okay, I will explain it here just
Yes.
now. Good
Hello.
night, you are live with Marsha Walker.
Take down the volume on your radio, please.
Call back again.
Yes, ma'am.
Marsha,
Uh-huh.
about this disabled child, right? This Angela here.
Yes.
About a disabled child, and he wears medium, so I want to take it for him.
Oh,
to
same
look
Angela.
pretty.
Okay,
No
right.
problem.
So what size it is? Medium and what?
Medium.
So both two mediums.
Yeah, 2 mediums.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Wow. Yes. Jerseys.
Yes. Okay, so Indra. Indra says she is going to sponsor. So, Indra, what you could do is WhatsApp me at 378-4975, Indra.
Yes.
WhatsApp 378-4975.
Hello.
Just WhatsApp your telephone number and I will speak to you. All right, Indra? Okay. Or you could message me, the Douglar Politics Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes?
Hello.
Good night.
Hello.
Do we have somebody live?
Yes.
I think we've lost them.
No, they're on.
No, they are on.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good
ma'am.
night.
Good night.
Hi.
Can I speak to Marsha, please?
You are on live with Marsha Walker.
My name is Marsha Waker. My name is Vilma Woodramsing. I'm from St. Joseph. Can
Hi,
I get
Vidra.
a T-shirt, please?
Okay, so what is your name? Vidra?
Woodramsing.
Vidra Budram Singh from St. Joseph. Vidra, do you have our WhatsApp telephone number?
No, lovely.
Okay, so are you somewhere where you can take the telephone number?
Yes, I can give.
378-4975. So just WhatsApp your name and your size. Now, I can't promise anything, and we have to make sure we have the sponsors on first, huh? Yes?
Yeah, have what?
Once I have sponsors for the t-shirts.
Okay.
Yes. So WhatsApp your information. 378-4975.
378-4975.
Right, just WhatsApp your name and your size.
Okay, darling. Thank you very much. You have a blessed night.
You too.
Yes.
Okay.
Drop
All
that
right.
down.
These t-shirts are popular, boy.
Yeah.
You see, and I do my t-shirt in literally like 2 seconds, you know.
Okay.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Walker.
Hi, good night, Marsha. How are you? This is 97.5 FM stereo.
Yes, it is.
Pleasant good night. Listen, I don't know if I'm out of line or not, but tomorrow is my sister's birthday, Listra, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is Lisa from Kelly, and I just want to say she's a very nice sister. Could you play something? My mom's birthday is the 1st of February next year too. So could you play something nice for Listra, please?
What would you like? What would you like Corky to play?
Anything for Listra sing out in Kelly. Anything, my dear.
All right.
From Listra and I, okay?
Okay, no problem. So we'll play that at 9 o'clock at the top of the hour, right?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
You as well.
Wow. Birthday requests and all.
Yes, boy.
Hello.
Good night. You're live with Marsha Waker.
Good night.
Hello.
Good night, Marsha. I'm calling from Canada.
Oh, I love my Canada calls, you know.
I watch your program right now. You know, I heard you were talking about Dr. Eric Williams a while ago. But I'm 75 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I have been living in Canada 28 years. But I know all about from the time Trinidad got independence and Dr. Eric Williams became Prime Minister, how everything started.
Okay.
You know? Because it was Dr. Eric Williams started this race business from day one. You know?
Yes.
And he sort of brainwashed the people. Brainwash the people that they know that they must go against each other. You know? And then
so were you around for his famous recalcitrant minority speech?
You know, the type of money that Trinidad is amazing to know today that people still seeing trouble in Trinidad. You know?
Yes.
Because when it started, when Texaco was there, British Petroleum, Shell, the type of money that passed through the country. I can remember once for a budget time that Williams said, if he gave every man, woman, and child over the age 18 $1 million, there would still be money in the treasury.
Oh, wow.
And look what has become of Trinidad now. You know?
Right.
I had to run because I had a business in Trinidad. I got held up a couple of times.
Oh, gosh.
Almost lost my life. And I said, enough is enough. You know?
And we've lost so many good people like you because of these things.
Yeah, well, you see, you work very hard to achieve what you want in life. And people just want to walk and take it. The guy had a supermarket. And the last hold-up I got was in 2092. And these three guys walked in the grocery. It was 2 days before Christmas, grocery busy. And the guy knew me. And he pointed a gun at my face and tell me he come for what is his.
Right.
I told the cashier, I said, give him what is his.
Yes.
You know, with that incident, I decided, I tell the wife, I say, there's something, the kids are in Canada, 3 of them, going to university, let's pack up and go.
Yeah.
That we have residents of Canada already, let's go. I did that, I closed my business down, sold out everything, lost millions of dollars.
And we have lost so many good citizens. We have lost so many good citizens.
You know,
just like you.
It hasn't changed. Now it has become worse.
Yeah, boy.
You know, it has become worse. You know something? I am scared. I come to Trinidad every year, but since 2020 I didn't come because due to the COVID.
Right.
And I planned to come March 1 because I have some business to look after. And I'm scared. I am scared to know what is taking place with the government, what is taking place with the crime, what is taking place with this COVID business and conventional housing, and all these set of no good people that run in the government. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. If people have to get up, people have to wake up and get up and get rid of PNM government. Or else they're going to suffer all the days of their life.
Yes. Okay, caller. So we have to hang up now because with the other calls. But thank you so much for calling.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I love to hear from people who've been around before the independence.
Yes. 218-7762.
Yes, I love to hear from because again, I believe in the history. I believe in history teaching us and
I think
guiding
you might want
us.
a T-shirt as well. Yes.
Well, we have to get T-shirts all the way to Canada.
Yes. 218-7762.
Yes, you see, and I see in here, our educated children who cannot get jobs in their field, they've migrated. So yes, that's very true. It's very true. Now, Chad, I want to find out, you said, Marsha, copy the T-shirts just like you have them. They'll be a big success. Yes. Now, Chad, I can't sit down and write up on every T-shirt, huh?
Great.
So I want to know when you say just like this, I hope you don't mean with liquid paper, Unless, of course, the next step is we get some people, And you know, they're willing to do it for us.
Yes, yes.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker on Douglar Radio and U975 FM.
Good night, Marsha. Good night, Mr. Corky.
Hello.
And to everybody out here. Marsha, you were really on fire this evening.
Well,
and
thank you.
I want, with your permission, to carry on that fire a little bit. It's
course.
Fire Friday.
Of course.
And I
Burn
want
down
to
the
light.
place for me here.
Beg pardon?
I said burn down the place. You have all the permission.
I want to light some fire under some people. You see some of these UNC people who want to play crab in the barrel, right? They're not seeing the condition that Dr. Rowley, Keith Rowley, has this country in. That all you want to undermine Mrs. Prasad Bissessa? Well, hear what? You see, me and my pro-warriors, we are bruising our knees for you all. I am sending a warning to them. When all you undermine Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, right? You all are undermining the 310,000 people that voted for her.
Absolutely.
We want better governance in this country. We want it. And what Rowley is doing is not good governance. And what all you're doing, helping him with the nasty governance that he's carrying on with. And we are not going to take it anymore, Marsha. I am sending a warning to them. All you want to interfere with this lady, all you're interfering with the wrong lady. Think about the people of the country.
Yeah.
Think about what is going on, what Dr. Rowley is doing to the people in this country. Look at it. We had INS Gate. We had Forest Gate, Schoon Gate, everybody. Now we are hearing something that's going on with the Warner Group of companies and Presticon. You understand? Is it scratch my back and I will scratch yours? You all are agreeing to those things? Why it is that they have to be like that? Why it is all it just can't settle down? You understand? And build the party. Let us remove the PNM. But when all you're behaving like that, this is what all is causing in this country. And Marsha, we are not taking it anymore. We come out for them now. Marsha,
right.
thanks a lot and have a good evening.
Good evening. Yes, we're going to go. So this is our last call. You know, we had to end with the Anna for now. All right, we have one more call. Last call. Good evening. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Thank you, Marsha Waker, for taking my call. Good night to Corky. This is Mr. Trinity calling.
Hi, Mr. Trinity.
Everybody good?
We are.
Well,
I'll be
Marsha,
better when Rowley goes, but for now I'm good.
Well, God be praised. I saw your video today with Emeritus. It was shared with a colleague of mine shared it with me.
Okay.
And
That meritless has gotten my Facebook taken down, I'm sure.
Now, don't worry about that. Fire, as Anil will say, fire abundant. Now, I just want to tell Trinidadians who listening, the PNM always started with a pack of lies when the PNM was out of office for the first time in 1986.
Yes.
They lied their way, they lied to the population, causing the Muslimin to mount an attempted coup, an insurrection based on PNM lies. And I would always maintain that is the human cost of lies. People died.
Yeah.
That is the human cost of lies. You understand? The economy was in shambles, our balance of payments was in deficit, and the Robinson administration inherited a jar of worms. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
No? Yeah. Now, there are UE lecturers, they could ask Dr. Patrick Watson and the others, there are UE lecturers who are telling their students today, if the Robinson administration was allowed to carry out their economic plans, the country would have been in a better place. Right? So that is the human cost of lies. You understand? Secondly, right? So, and secondly, I used to tell the Edison Carr and somebody else on a morning program. The Robinson administration had European workers planting food on abandoned agricultural estates. Right? When the Manning administration, so that would have kick-started our agricultural sector. When the Manning administration came in, they cut it out. You had European workers building oxygen in the morning and going to plant in the abandoned estates in the evening. People forget that. You had European workers up by me in St. Joseph who was benefit. You see, when the truck comes to take the produce, the truck can't take all. So you go home with an extra bag of okra, extra bag of tomato there. They had a little market to go home to, and that was free. They got paid for planting. You understand?
Right.
The unemployment was high. I was a young man in 1988 writing out checks, severance checks. Between 1985 and 1988, we had massive unemployment with regard to retrenchment. The economy was going down. I'm a young man, single man at the time, writing checks, preparing payments to the company I work for to send people home. I used to work for a state enterprise. Send big men home with mortgage crying.
Yeah.
I see that. I live that. You understand? The Robinson administration said, let us bring in export processing zones where multinationals could come in. They pay to produce goods and export it outside. You understand? The export processing zone, things would have been duty free. The union say, nah, let's shop. Ting. Right? So what we had electricians, plumbers, a lot of craftsmen buying maxi taxi to transport people. You understand? The human cost of lies.
Yeah.
So here we are now.
Yep.
Here we are now. Right? And the human cost of lies, look at the level of COVID deaths. So the PNM cannot govern.
Yeah.
All they could do is lie themselves back into office every 2-3 election cycles.
Yep.
Waste that time.
Yeah.
But there is a good. We will thrive and we will prevail. So you all take care.
Thank you
and
very
take it
much.
easy.
Thank you very much. Right, so we're at the top of the hour.
Yes.
We're going to go on a break. I know that Corky takes his break at the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. It is Marsha Waker, Fire Fridays, U975 FM and Douglar Radio.
Douglar Politics, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. We start on time. We elected an incompetent, heartless, tyrannical oppressor who likes no one but himself, his friends, and he loves money. He loves money more than his family. He loves money more than the product of his loins. Yet we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, elected this dictator and allow him to select every board, every chairman of every board, control every tax dollar, control our lives, control everything we do in a pandemic, even though this man is the biggest failure in the history of the Commonwealth. Wake up! Wake up, people! Wake up and unite. We cannot go down like this. Douglar Politics. Let's unite. 7:30 p.m. Saturday night.
Sensible thinking. I believe in being logical. I believe in common sense. Picking the sense from the nonsense. Don't listen. Just because I say something, you must never just go and repeat what I say.
Right.
It must make sense to you. We must become a country that critically thinks. Right?
That PNM must go.
Well, if you don't believe so, if you genuinely don't believe that, we can have a conversation, you know.
All right.
But I have never successfully had a conversation with somebody who genuinely believes PNM is the best choice and they've done well and whatever. Right. I remember I grew up in PNM house, and you know what my father used to always, he would say Kamla was a better prime minister and whatever. And then he'd say, oh gosh boy, but I can't, how I could not vote for PNM? It always comes back down to, which is blind loyalty, it always comes back down to this feeling that you'll be betraying your race or Eric who bring independence. There's always some kind of emotion behind it rather than a logic. I've never had somebody sit down and logically say to me, that's why they voted for PNM, and it was a logic. It wasn't propaganda or something. I tell you, Corky, I grew up in PNM. I am a swing voter. I am not a blind UNC follower. So I have had such conversations. I have had conversations where you're sitting here really work things out. I said to you all, up until 2 years, 2018, 2 years before election, I didn't know anybody from UNC. All I knew was what lies the media fed me. But even with the media, if you dig and you follow the story properly, we would call out Rowley on lies that he would have told, and you would still vote for him. Even using the media, Corky, you could see how stories change and the lies and stuff. But I want to discuss the merit list. So you know, when Senator Leida was here, he said, Bliss, where's the list? Bliss, where's the list? Well, Anand Ram Logan found the list, right? He used the tools available to him to find the list. Lo and behold, as we all expected, Gary Griffith was the choice for not only the substantive position, but the acting position of top cop.
Yes.
These are the things that must worry citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. These are the things that, honestly, I think I is a cry baby. I don't know, boy. Because I am sitting there with my husband and I'm saying to him,
yes,
it don't even matter that the list come out. Because Rowley is watch us and be like, and so where you go do me? He have this kind of attitude where he gets caught in a lie and where you go do me? Same thing with the bear. Where you go do me? You can't do me nothing.
Can't touch me.
Exactly. He has a real can't touch me kind of behavior, Corky.
Yes.
Right? And again, we can only blame ourselves. Because we, regardless of what comes before us, somehow the blind loyal does defend, and then the blind haters do not even realize what they're doing, because they'll say, yeah, but Kamala need to step down. What Kamala have to step down have to do with Rowley? Can you see that you are as much of a problem? Your blind hate. And I call it blind hate because even when we sit down and we show you the truth, you still refuse to be wrong. So nothing that we bring to you will change your mind, because there is this way that you mustn't be wrong. So it's either that there's an ego going on, or I could only say, are you being paid by the PNM? Because as I said to you all before, when I dug into Kamala Persad-Bissessar, what it appeared to me was she was not prepared to deal with corruption. And even if that meant inside the UNC, she wasn't prepared to deal with it then as well. And I always say, you know, when you go back to her speech, the Section 34 speech, and she said she was prepared to pay the ultimate political price to keep that level of integrity. And of course she did. Because when she fired ministers, it was not an admission of guilt, but she was upholding the Westminster system. So in the UK, we are seeing it right now. You don't need to be tried in the Westminster system once there's allegations of corruption, once there's scandal. What they expect is that you step down, clear your name and come back. So that was the way that she ran the government. She held her government to that highest standard of integrity, that you have to clear your name and come back.
Right.
And there are obviously people who benefit and who have benefited for the last 60 years with Trinidad being corrupt. So maybe there is a united front to remove those who do not stand for corruption. Because I understand that corruption puts money on people's table in their bank accounts. So I can understand that no one is going to, that element will not just allow someone to come and clean things up. So I can only ask, are these elements being paid to tarnish her name? Because it benefits them if there is a corrupt boys club in the UNC that passes things. And I have to ask that as well of certain third parties. And I don't even want to call them parties. Because if you don't have a proper NATEX, it's not a party, if you ask me. You just don't want to be an independent candidate. So you decide you're going to become a political leader. And I'm going to address this once and for all. You see people that have lives and like to call my name in all your mouth, you need to stop it. And to those who message me and tag me in lives where people are calling my name, you all need to stop it. Because two things. Shame on you for listening to such filth. You have nothing to do with your time, go and turn on Parliament channel and listen to debates. Because then that way you could hear for yourself and pick sense from nonsense what you know. So you don't have to depend on the media. So for instance, if you have nothing to do with your time at 9 o'clock tonight, don't listen to filth. Go back and listen to the appropriation bill. Because then you will hear the Minister of Finance talk about removing $80 million from Gate. And then talk about rent needed to be paid. And Faris Arawi admits that he has some interest, some conflict of interest in that rent. So go turn on the Parliament channel and find out what is this thing about cutting gate funding. Go turn on Parliament channel and ask yourself, how incompetent can you be if it is that you had to come to supplement NIS? Did you not know how much people would be needing pension and old age grants and stuff, common sense will say if I am 64 years old last year, this year I turned 65 and I now need it. Proper planning and data collection helps with these things. So you could go on to Parliament channel yourself and you could listen to the debates and you could decide what makes sense to you. What not making sense, what not adding up. So stop listening to filth for people who need relevance. And yes, they're going to call my name because they need relevance. So I'm going to address it once and for all. You see, when people talk about I'm a hypocrite or I've lost my integrity, you need to reply on those lives. If you choose to continue to listen, that's what it should be on there for, to defend the truth. That's the only reason you should be there, to defend the truth and to defend democracy. Ask those people, why if I have lost my integrity, you call and sought my signature and other UNC senators, if you pay attention, our names were on your letter to the president. If we've lost our integrity, why would you call us and ask for our signatures? If we have lost our integrity, why is it that we've only recently, within 2 months, lost our integrity? Only after you offered deputy political leader and I turned you down. Is it that you want dishonest people as your deputy political leader? Is it that you want hypocrites as your deputy political leader? When you said you wanted to help my husband, so give him an opportunity to quote, is that not bribery? Because if you do that now, with the little influence you think you have because of the followers that you have on Facebook, what will you do when you have Trinidad and Tobago's treasury at your disposal? If you were interested in the work I do, then you would have offered my husband a contract and the ability to quote. Don't offer him the contract. Offer the ability to quote, because that's all I want. I don't want no favoritism. Just make it fair and offer me the ability to quote. Why it is all of a sudden, after I said no thank you, I do not want to join your party. No thank you, I do not want to be deputy political leader. Why all of a sudden, my name calling in your mouth all the time for years, you speak highly of me. But all of a sudden, because I refuse to join your party, all of a sudden I'm a hypocrite. All of a sudden I'm singing for my supper. When the truth is, what you really want is for me to sing for your supper. You want me to beg you, for a contract. So if I don't join as deputy political leader, then what? Then my husband has no opportunity to quote on your projects? Isn't that the same as bribery? How are you any different? How? So please, stop calling my name in your mouth. And as I said, shame on those who follow. Because you have got to use your brain and say, but wait now. It's years he talking up that girl. It's years he talking about so much respect for her, respect for her, respect for her. How all of a sudden he bad talking her? Do we have another raging bull? Remember Patrick Manning called Keith Rowley a raging bull, who becomes a raging bull when he doesn't get his way? Are you another man who is unable to hear no? Is that what we are hearing? Are you yet another man who is unable to be told no by a young lady? So when you asked me to be deputy political leader and I said no thank you, that is not my idea of unity. I am happy to work with any party. Yes. Any party I'm happy to work with. Once you all are open, honest, transparent, accountable, and of course efficient and making sense, I will work with you. Right. I do not need to join your party. But because you get no, you turn into your own little version of a raging bull and want to bad talk me all over the place. Shame on those who listen to that filth. Shame on you. Because you are part of the problem. And as I say, I hope that my buff will be more like a Mia Motley. Because believe it or not, Mia Motley The reason all the infighting was happening was because they said, she makes unilateral decisions. But yes, as a good parent, there are times that you have to do that. As a good mother, there are times I have to say, Jess, I know you don't like it. And I know we cannot agree, so we're going to have to agree to disagree. But you're going to have to trust that I know what is best for you. So shame on those who follow the filth. Do not tag me. What I want you to do is use common sense, because I know you are intelligent. Do not allow politics to blind and cloud your intelligence.
Yes.
It cannot be that for years you speak well of me, but now that I have said no thank you, I am sticking with Kamla Persad-Bissessor, all of a sudden you're bad talk. And well, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I spoke specifically about Kamla Persad-Bissessor, well, it's 2 set of people offer me deputy political leader. Yeah. And 2 set of them, they start a bad talk when I say no.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. Because I understand that they feel as though, I appreciate your confidence in coming and your confidence in me. In saying, well, we value you and you should be deputy political leader and whatever. I appreciate that.
Yes.
But I always say that Kamla don't have me where I am, not because she doesn't value. But if you follow Kamla Persad-Bissessor, she didn't have it easy. Nobody gave her anything. And what that does is build our political muscles. It allows us the time to grow. You don't see lionesses sending out the little lion cub to hunt before their time.
Yes.
Right? They give them a little something small to hunt first.
Yes.
Right? Let them go play with a little bird first. Until they grow. That is responsible leadership. That is responsible leadership. So I want you all to ask yourselves, because this blind hate that you get in places like Diego Martin West, where Marsha, I like you, but I can't vote for Kamla Persad-Bissessor. Why? Why? Because PNM has painted a picture. Ask yourself a question. You have people like David Naked, Anita Haynes, Sean Sobers, Tahaka Obika, Saddam Hussein, Jayanti Lakshmidial, Khadija Amin, Michelle Benjamin, Vandana Mohit. Listen to the kind of young people I called there. Listen to those names. Would a weak leader be able to put together such a dynamic team of young people? Because everybody that I've spoken to, you call those names and they have nothing but good to say about them. But then they'll say, yeah, but we can't vote for Kamla. Well, then what's the point? At least 10 names I call there, all young, all dynamic, all fresh faces, everything that you say you want. So she must get some credit for putting together such a lineup. Give us some credit, because if you like us, then trust that there is something that we are seeing in her that the PNM and the media is not allowing you to see. Because if it is that we could be close to her and we could say, this is who we choose to follow. And not just follow, because we don't blindly follow. If it's one thing you all could see, and people like, and PNM like to turn that and twist that and say, oh, she have no control in her ranks. And that is not how it is. That's not the way it is. What we don't do is blind following. So we all have an opportunity to have our own brain and have our own opinion. Yes, there's a time for discipline, but there's certainly a time for us to have our own brain. So she must have credit for that. She must be given credit for that. Because it takes a good leader to put together a good team. So if you like the team, you have to ask yourself, am I becoming that which I hate? So I so don't want to be a blind loyalist that I've now become a blind hater. We have to start to ask these hard questions of ourselves, because our country deserves it. In fact, our country's future depends on it, because this is a democracy, and it will only work if citizens stand up. We talk about the right of recall. A right of recall still needs signatures. Who's going to sign the signatures and the petition for Rowley to go? Because Candlelight Movement boast of how many signatures for the pepper spray. Where pepper spray? Has the signatures done anything to bring about the pepper spray? Has the signatures done anything to protect our women? So what we must do is stop looking for excuses as to why the country is the way it is. Because what we don't want to do, and Avenel Hector said it, you know, we lie to ourselves, or we pretend things don't exist because we don't want to take responsibility. And if we do that, we'll have to change.
Yes.
But sometimes we have to look and say, maybe I am part of the problem, because I want the Constitution to change. We don't need to wait for the Constitution to change. In every area of success, people will tell you change begins with you. A successful businessman will never wait for all the right ingredients. A successful businessman will never blame anybody else but himself. That's a success mindset. A successful mindset does not say, well, when rain stop, I will work. Or when the sun stop, go down, I will work. Or when COVID stop, I will start to make money. That is not a successful mindset. Successful people know that the buck stops with them. And so if we are prepared to have a successful country, then we must have a success mindset as citizens and as voters. Yes. Which means the buck must stop with us. So we must ask ourselves, what are we doing to bring about the change in our country that we want to see? I see the lines are ringing.
218-7762.
Good night, you are live. I lost it. I'm sorry.
Took a little while
to
answer.
Yes, I'm sorry.
218-7762.
So we must ask ourselves,
yes,
what am I doing? Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Good night, you are live with Marsha Waker. Good night. Hello.
Yes. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Tell me something. If it is we had a proper, unbiased president, right? And a country that where crimes, where you have situation where the health minister and the prime minister, right, good, are held responsible for the lives of citizens concerning this COVID thing, right? Like how you see in some of the African countries where they arrest the prime minister and ministers involved in these things.
Yeah.
If you had a proper president, right, this is what should have taken place in Trinidad, where they arrest the prime minister, the health minister, and even the Bascara girl and the other one, the other two, right? Because they are lying to the public, right? Lying outright to the public, denying knowledge, right? And situations to the public, denying information, denying public information. The man got shot in, the guy who got shot close to the Grandi hospital, right? The bullet went into his chest, through his heart. They put COVID, right? Good. That's ridiculous. Why are you testing a man who got shot to see whether he is COVID positive or COVID negative? What nonsense going on in this country? And we just, you see the day, when the Sunday when we do have baked pork, baked chicken, baked whatever, stew beef, macaroni pie, macaroni salad, and things to eat, then we might see people starting to think, see these people starting to wake up. You understand? It's a sleeping country. You understand? We take so much nonsense from these people and so much lies. Lies upon lies upon lies. You're not closing touch with it. Look for instance, right? Look at this Malcolm Jones issue. Seize what they have and put the money back in the treasury, right? Cut off this set of incentives that they enjoying, right? Look at the incentive on the vehicles and things. The country going through a hard time. Let all your sacrifice too. It's only the people you want to sacrifice and then want to commit property tax. Eh?
Yeah.
Which is wrong in this country. You know, in any other country, it's turmoil going on.
Well, we have to agitate, and that's where the
We can't
citizens had a shout. The
Listen to
citizens
me.
had a shout.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You see what's going on, right? This thing have to take a different tone, a different turn. You understand? And people have to start to come out in every different area.
Yes.
Not just in the savannah.
Agreed.
You understand? People have to come out and load people, get cars, get mics.
Yes.
And load the people. You see them fight for this election or not? And I told them that. They did not fight that last election. Right? You're driving around with 1 or 2 trucks and meeting 1 or 2 people in certain areas. You understand? And they covered all the media stations.
Well,
right?
I'll have to disagree with you. I'm sorry. I have to disagree.
Listen to me. Well, you will have to disagree. Because even this program and all, the kind of fire and power we had from Monday to Thursday, I find this program kind of, I don't know, like this good for after lunch, as I told you, after lunch, like how Young and Restless used to be. Because being any fire and power, you need to mobilize people, you need to organize people. Where is the proper organizations of the UNC?
Right.
Look how they're not fighting already. You know, they're very much organized. You know they talk about the same issues and all the
So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to have you be disrespectful on radio, right?
This program
okay. So thank you. Good night.
I say you're well complaining.
Well, yeah. Everybody has a view. Everybody has a view.
He wants to get rid of Rowley fast, so he finally should be doing more. He should do more.
Oh, so what is he doing?
He would the program.
Well, no. So what is he doing? What is he doing? And that is the whole point. The point is, we must stop looking for somebody else to do it. You be the change that you want to see. So you be the fire you want to see.
Okay.
Good night. You are live on U975.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Right. You see, that's why I tell the man, you cut him off there?
Yes.
It's just so with you. When you start a program, the only thing you doesn't say is once upon a time. It's a story you just come to give me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
What's that? I don't understand what he's saying. I don't understand.
Well, I don't know. I think a story or whatever. I'm not sure. But that's all right.
People are getting excited out there. They want to get Rowley must go fast. So, they're complaining,
But what you must stop doing, and that's what I said, it's not a success mindset.
Yes.
Only complainers, that is a weak mindset. Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Right. Just a half a minute, 30 seconds. This is Mr. Trinity again.
Hello.
To all the callers out there, if all you can't make a meaningful contribution to the program, don't call. And don't call and disrespect people. It's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to disrespect people. And as Anil will say, fire burn that. Call, get your thoughts together, make a meaningful contribution. If you happen to have some kind of experience in any field of endeavor or any area where you see wrongdoing, point it out, bring it to the program. Otherwise, don't call. Just shut up. Just go and have a cup of tea and listen to the program.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to get him a T-shirt, right? And we're going to say, well, you want Rowley to go? You be the first to line up with your T-shirt. I will buy him his T-shirt and he will line up in front Prime Minister's office.
Now forget that. Fire burn that. Fire burn that. So you all continue the program. Koki, you all continue the program.
Thank
right?
you, Mr. Trinity. Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Not a problem.
All right.
And that's what we need, right? We appreciate those kind of soldiers, the ones who don't just leave us in the dark, to take we licks by ourselves. Good night. This is Marsha Waker.
I have to laugh, Marsha, because during the week when Mr. Anil and Mr. Anil especially say, let the PNM call and say what good Dr. Rowley do for this country. That time they are calling, right? But they're calling your program tonight. This is Sandra Mangal.
Hello,
and that's
Sandra.
why I have to laugh tonight.
Well, you see, they know that I ain't going to get them what Anil will get them.
Not this last guy, but the two who called before him.
Yes, yes,
Maybe
yes.
they are PNM people.
Well, somebody said they don't like woman. He's a woman hater.
No,
Let me tell you something, Marsha.
Yes?
And woman is the one they're falling in love with.
They're just jealous. They're just jealous. Sour grapes, don't worry.
Yes, okay.
It's woman they're falling in love with, and then they're criticizing the woman.
It's all right. We're going to put Anil to handle them next week. Don't worry.
All right, thanks for calling. Well, the
Thanks,
guy
Sandra.
is not no PNM. He just find like they should be doing this and doing that, you know.
Well, like, he should do what he want done.
Okay.
He should do it.
Hello.
Good night. You're live with Marsha Waker.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Marsha, we need to deal with the serious issue.
Yes.
Farming, agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
The farmers, we suffering here.
How can we help? Because I know we spoke about the bill that was passed last week with the well, it wasn't passed actually. So that's good because between Senator Leiter, they derailed the bill completely because they wanted to take away the farmers board, the livestock farmers board, which would of course seen the total eradication of the small and medium farmer, and only the big farmers would have been able to survive with the removal of the board. So we're taking the fight, you know. But if there's something in particular that you think that we can do to help, please let us know.
Yeah, well, chemicals, the prices we have to face out there for chemicals for our plants.
Okay.
It's extremely ridiculous, and then now you're pumping water, now you're telling me we have to get abstraction license. This is madness. We don't have to pay so much money in COVID. Some of the farmers, they have no choice right now but to forget farming. The prices we're paying all day, Marsha.
Yeah.
It's extremely ridiculous. You come now with this abstraction license to pump water, right?
Caller, where are you from?
When we get flooding, who paying the farmers and them for flooding?
Where are you from, caller?
I'm the president of the Junior Junction Farmers Association.
Okay. Send me your name and number now. WhatsApp it to me. 378 Kokia Kasi, the WhatsApp number. 378-4975. Because we need to start to agitate.
Let me just mark it down. 378
4975. I mean, you could always message on Douglar Politics or whatnot, and you know somebody will get it to me.
Yeah, well, there's always calling in my boy program, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, and we will continue to agitate. And I mean, we protest when we protest. If it is that you guys have people, I go come and I go protest. I
Marsha,
come in with y'all and protesting.
Marsha, to tell you the truth, sorry to say it, but we are in a UNC stronghold, and I've been begging the Bowl Corporation, Governors Bowl Corporation, to just help us with an excavator to clean the drain, to the silt.
But
we're helping them
but
with
you heard
diesel and whatever.
what's going on with the Penal Corporation, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these UNC corporations are not getting the funding.
No, well, even if they drop the excavator by us, we are trying to meet halfway the farmers. I mean, we're trying to meet halfway and paying for diesel, paying for oil and whatever. We're willing to do it, but we don't know where to turn to right now. I mean, the ASCT standing up strong with us and the farmers.
Well, send me your name and number so that we can talk further. Yeah?
Sure.
All right, great. Thanks so much.
Shouldn't be the government helping people out
But
there?
this is what I was talking to you about, Corky, in terms of the UNC corporations and the UNC seats, Corky.
Right.
What they are doing is not dispersing the funds. So they will say, well, they have the funds available, it's on the budget. But you budget for it, but you're taking your money and you're keeping it and you're not sending it. So that what it makes the UNC corporations look bad. Because now the UNC does not have the funds to be able to do what they're supposed to do. So you're seeing the Penal Corporation saying, listen, you need to send us our funds. We don't even have diesel for the backhoe. We don't have diesel for anything to clean the drains, to get things done, right?
Yes.
And that is something that we have to speak about, because the UNC corporations will end up looking bad to their constituents because the PNM is not sending funds their way.
Oh, okay.
That is what is happening. Good night, you are live with Marsha Waker. Did I lose that call?
No, the person
Okay.
hung up.
Oh.
Next call.
Good night, you are live with Marsha Waker.
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you breathing.
Hello.
Definitely they don't want to talk.
Okay.
All right. 218-7762.
Yes. Corky.
Yes.
These are the things that PNM do all the time. And let me say something again. The whole bit with the UNC and PNM is the same thing. When Kamla Prasad Bissessa was in government, do you know that in Big Yard, the hill up in Big Yard saw water for the first time ever? So Kamla Prasad Bissessa was a prime minister for everybody, not just for her PNM safe seats.
Okay.
Good night, you are live with Marsha Waker.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Yes. Miss Marsha,
Yes,
I could ask you something.
of course.
You
You don't
know
mean I will
the council-
answer, eh?
You know the councillors and them in Trinidad?
All the councillors, no, I don't know all the councillors.
Right. You know, it's how in Balmain, it's a woman they call Arlene.
Okay.
Arlene Solomon. What's she last name? Is Ramsaran or something?
Okay. What about
Yeah.
her?
Yeah. She does nothing for nobody.
So what we need to do is find her name and her number.
Yeah?
What you need to do is WhatsApp her name so that we could find her number and we could find out why find out what you need.
Yeah.
So when you, so WhatsApp me her name and the area so that we could take it further. We could find out what is going on.
Yes.
Yes?
Alright, I'll call you back next time, right?
Okay, we'll just WhatsApp the information. WhatsApp the information. Yes? Okay. Yes,
Wow,
Corky.
What a
So,
show.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Good night.
Good night.
This pastor, I'm listening to your program. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
And I got blind in 2013.
I
But
can't hear you,
saw
caller.
all the things I got blind. I saw all the things that deep for Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't know how some people are. I don't know, just I'm physically blind, but spiritually I can see everything. The PNM party, I don't know, this party, they've been rich people. And they've made a lot of prayers to get these people out of that bewitchment. And some people, I don't know. I want to thank Ms. Kamala for this is a day. She did a lot for me, for my children, and everything. You understand?
Yes.
Before Ms. Kamala before they elected, she told them in 2015 to get a house, right, for my children, because my children are home right now. It's because I'm blind, right? I beg for that house. When PNM got in power, they scrap off my application.
Oh, wow.
The social manager at HDC, she knew me and she, at the time, she was a social worker, and she approved my application. And when she saw my application was no longer the computer, right now she's a manager. She did that. But right now her hands set because tied because the Minister of Housing not doing anything, the directing manager of EDC not doing nothing. I got a letter from Mr. You know? I got a letter from him. I got a
Caller,
letter
you're
from
breaking
the
up a
Prime
lot.
Minister Association.
Caller, you're
I got
breaking up
all
a lot.
letters. But these people just not giving me an apartment at all. They just don't care.
Yes.
Yeah.
God bless, I will always vote for UNC.
All right.
Thank
Because
you.
this Camilla Prasad sister, she's a real hero, and she's a leader. You understand? And I don't know why some people just blind and they cannot see that. Okay, God bless.
All right.
Keep up the good
Thank
program.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's breaking up a little bit, yeah.
Yes, he was.
The line's got across there. Hello?
Night.
Good night. You are live with Marsha Waker.
Good night to everybody. Miss. Something I want to find out. You could tell me, Raj Koki, I sing the song Money and No Problem.
Money and No Problem.
Yeah, what year he come with that song? I think it's 80s or something, so.
I'll tell you just now.
Because why feel with that song comes to life now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing, I went in the bus to Menas this evening, the gap bus, to come Arim, and it's 2 hours on something, and they have one set of bus pack up there. I don't know what's going on with these they're telling you nothing. People in the line for 2 hours on something are telling you. And you can't get no bus. I don't know what's going on with the strike or whatsoever.
1978.
Yes, about 2 hours are telling you. Look, I know which.
Okay.
I know which of the gap bus.
All right. The song.
I'm on to that bus pack up. They walk in, they tell you the bus I walk in and all kind of thing, and there's drama in that bus over there.
All right.
That man sing that song?
1978.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks for calling, yeah. That song was from 1978.
What song is that?
Money and No Problem.
Play it for me, Cookie.
All right.
Play it for me.
Let me hear it. Okay, no problem.
It's 5 to a bed in the hospital. Yeah. And we can't hear a word from Health Minister Kamal. Whoa. Black dirty water we have to drink. Water say clean but it smelling stink. Alright friend, money no problem.
So you see the healthcare was bad since way back then too?
Well, I have another song for y'all to play.
All right.
I have another song for you to play. Right? When was that? What year was that?
Well, I'm seeing here Soca Explosion 1978.
Right.
The album, yes.
You need to play Sparrow. We like it so.
All right.
Right? You can leave that one on in the meantime if when you're looking for it or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay? But this is the whole thing, right? You need to, and it comes back down to us as citizens. We get what we allow.
Yeah.
And we have allowed the PNM to lie to us, to brainwash us. And we are too intelligent a people. But you see, the thing about it is, I think that is what it is. It's they've taken advantage of us and our loyalty. They had taken advantage of us and the way that we are a happy people. They have used that to their advantage because we are easygoing people.
Yes.
They have used that to their advantage. And you see, a true leader does not exploit his people, because our happiness and our laid-backness should not have been converted into, because I don't want to say it's a weakness, because that same way that we are able to remain happy with little, that is actually a blessing. That's a positive. That we are by nature a people who are not I don't want to say easily pleased in terms of a low standard, but we make do with what we have. We are by nature a happy people. And those who have supposed to, those who should have used those things and turned them into strengths, have used them and abused our traits. And that can't be allowed. That same island life that should have been cultivated, that should have been used so that when people from the big cities come, they like that ability to relax. So while it is a plus, it has now turned into our greatest enemy, that jam and still mentality. And it is because our leaders took it and turned what should have been a strength, turned it into our weakness, because they've exploited it. Our forefathers have exploited our weaknesses. They have used it, and they have not served us well. They have used our loyalty, and they have not served us well. So if I come from Big Yard and I say, well, I know my family members are loyal to me, so I could do them what I want and say what I want because, they ain't good go nowhere. And that is what has happened. The PNM has turned our loyalty and they have abused it. They have taken our loyalty, and instead of saying, well, listen, what can we do for our loyal soldiers? How can we help them? Instead, they've abused us. They have taken our strongholds that they feel that they cannot lose, and they've not taken those strongholds and bettered them. I look at Bagatelle and Blue Basin. Yes. The waterfalls. Do you know we have waterfalls in Diego Martin?
I heard about it.
They are beautiful.
Yes.
Can you imagine in Bagatelle, they have a hiking trail, and those young men, they do not even wait on public funding. They are working on their own trail, and they have a bike, like a biking trail.
Yes.
Can you imagine with the right partnership and the right support? Because what we don't want is handouts. We want the government to come and partner with us and say, all right, let's help get this bike trail going. That is a form of ecotourism. And you can bring money into the community. And when you pump that kind of sustainable money into the community, not handouts, but you are allowing them to earn their own income. So that trail now brings income into the community, then crime goes down.
Yes.
Because you are now allowing that community to be self-sufficient. And as I say to Diego Martin West, a good leader would set up Diego Martin West in a way that if I decide I don't want to come back in business and come back into Parliament, that we will be good regardless. So the community don't have to say, well, we have to vote for Marsha, because if Marsha don't come back, we going to lose with 10 days, we going to lose with walk-in URP. That's not leadership. That is bribery. That is abuse. Because that is actually, when you think about financial abuse, the woman have to stay with the man, because if she leave the man, she ain't gonna have a place to stay, he ain't gonna pay her bills and that kind of shippiness. That is financial abuse. And that is what we see from this PNM government, that if you don't vote for me, you ain't gonna get your 10 days. You will lose your corporation work.
My gosh.
A true leader would cultivate the micro enterprises, the smaller than small man and woman mom and pop shop in the communities, so that they can be self-sufficient. You don't come arrogant and say it's time to wean you off the government, because there's a way and there's a time. So yes, we must become self-sufficient and we must begin to wean off the government. but not the way that this PNM government like to do it. You must help us. You must create systems that are equitable, that are fair. We have a stock market for small businesses. Why is that not working? People will talk about, loans in Nedco and all kind of thing, but it's not available to real small mom and pop shops. And even in terms of loans and whatnot, what we want is the ability for the small contractor to earn income. So we have the walkover and the whatever going on, and it's Chinese contractors that get it. Why aren't we allowing the small contractor, the local contractor, and I don't mean the gang leaders, because that must end as well. And that's why people will say they ain't voting for me because me ain't passing no money. And that's why I say that there's a concerted effort to ensure that leaders like Kamla Prasad Bisesa does not come into power, because there is a group of people that want money for nothing. And I'm sorry to say, but that group contributes to the corruption. We cannot be given contracts and you ain't working. So you see the eater food at election time. Those who want to come and say, well, they could be street captain, but you ain't really want to walk with me. I can't support that either. And I tell people, I say, if that's the kind of leader you want, then I'm not the right choice for you. Then don't vote for me. I am not here to mama guy you and pretend and do all kind of thing and say, well, right, election time, so you put 100 workers on your sheet and everybody get $200 because I want your vote. I'm not encouraging that culture either. I believe that you should be paid a fair wage. So you see, when other people get $100 or $200, my election people, in fact, my election team got paid better than PNM's election team in Diego Martin West. So I am happy to pay you a fair wage. But you must walk with me. You must work. It's not to eat a food. Yes. And that is the fairness that I talk about. So everybody must be paid a fair wage, but you must also work fairly. And that is the kind of country that we want. We want a country where no one is left behind. Everyone is paid fairly. The work ethic is there. And I think that Trinidadians will work hard if they are paid well when the day comes. But there is something that happens. You break our spirit when I am working hard, I'm working honestly, I'm being loyal, and I'm seeing that one set of people becoming millionaires and the other set of people can't even get their garbage collected. And that's where we must take the country. But Trinidad and Tobago, we must understand that we must take the country there. We must take the fight to the government. We must take the fight to the government. And that is what I want to leave you with here today. The fight must come from the citizens. The fight must come from the citizens. Corky, take off my air conditioner, so now I'm hot. Oh. I went from cold to hot, Corky.
I trip off.
I trip off. Yeah. It was too much fire in here. Well, the man said he didn't have no fire. Poor thing. Right? Trinidad and Tobago, that's what I want to leave you all with. Yes. We have a prime minister who wrote a letter, and it is clear evidence that there is some kind of political interference in this whole top cop business with Gary Griffith, and he gets to just pass it off. Wow. He gets to pass it off. The meritless Anand Ram Logan and the United National Congress, they are using all the tools that is available to them. Kamla Prasad Bisesa has said, not no private issues that you have, but if you have been taken advantage of by this government, if you're losing your job because of job and all kind of stuff, she will fight your battle. The UNC lawyers have been fighting on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago citizens. And that is why I keep saying, you cannot tell me about UNC PNM is the same thing. Because I always say Big Yard saw water under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and Big Yard is a PNM safe seat. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa was a prime minister for all. Yes. But we see it with the PNM that they're taking money from Gate. They're only building housing in marginal seats. It's all about winning elections rather than governing the country. So Trinidad and Tobago, we must agitate. We must force the hand of Keith Christopher Rowley. That is our job. And we must demand from the media that we will stop buying their newspaper if they do not really step up and do their job and defend our democracy. They must keep the government in check. We must become a success-minded citizen and stop blaming everybody else. Rowley is there because we put him there. Yes. And if we want him to go, we must agitate. We must take the fight to the nasty haters. We must take the fight to those small so-called parties, third parties, and blind Kamla haters. We must take the fight to them, and we must not stop until Rowley is gone.
Go.
Rowley must go. And let me tell you, don't buy into no stupid propaganda. Trinidad and Tobago, you all are smart. Stop listening to filth on 9 o'clock in the night. Turn on Parliament channel and pick sense from nonsense.
Yes.
And stand up for those who speak lies. Every time they say a lie, we must say the truth 5 times. We have got to take the fight. Don't wait for Kamla, don't wait for Anil, don't wait for Marsha. Each and every single citizen must take the fight to this Keith Rowley government. Yes. And as I said, I address blind haters and small parties once and for all. Because I believe in strategy. And I ain't going to be no potong all over the place, shooting bullet all over the place. Sniper. We have one enemy, and that's Keith Christopher Rowley, and he must go. So I ain't taking on no nonsensical, irrelevant people. We have one enemy, Keith Christopher Rowley, and he must go. And we must remain focused. Keith Christopher Rowley must go. He's useless. He must go. Go get all a t-shirt. Go write it up. We're going to look for some sponsorship and print some. Keith Christopher Rowley must go.
Go.
Right?
And we have to go now.
So, play Sparrow for me.
All right.
We like it so. Because it's a harsh reality. Trinidad and Tobago. We voted for him. And we must vote him out. But we ain't waiting till 2025 and whenever next, We must protest. We must get our placards. We must get our t-shirts. We must go onto social media. Go onto his Facebook. Go onto the Attorney General's Facebook. Go onto PNM's Facebook. They must go. Call election now. And we will not stop saying it until. Where my track? Where my tune? You have it for me? All right.
Douglar Politics, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. We start on time. We elected an incompetent, heartless, tyrannical oppressor who likes no one but himself, his friends, and he loves money. He loves money more than his family. He loves money more than the product of his loins. Yet we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, elected this dictator and allow him to select every board, every chairman of every board, control every tax dollar, control our lives, control everything we do in a pandemic, even though this man is the biggest failure in the history of the Commonwealth. Wake up! Wake up, people. Wake up and unite. We cannot go down like this. Douglar politics. Let's unite. 7:30 p.m. Saturday night.